Come in.
Hello.
Hey Brian, how are you? Hello, my name is Alex Evans. I'm a debate coach at Point Avenue. I've been here about 3 years in May, so that'll be my third year here. I've been with Brian for about 2 terms through his beginner term and his intermediate term. And so I'd like to introduce Brian and kind of what our program's all about.
Yeah, good. My name is Brian Lee, or you can call me Woo Jin Lee. I don't really mind how I call myself. And I'm in grade 10 in Eunice, and I've been in Point Avenue for about 1.5 years. So I've taken 5 courses and 2 with Mr. Alex.
So all in all, what do you think you've learned the most out of our debate program?
Well, I would say for the most, I have learned different things. I'll say only 2 things as the main thing. The first thing I've learned mostly of thinking of ideas, because what debate requires is me or other speakers to think of rebuttals or like what POI or a clash or all these different arguments you have to make in a limited time. So therefore, in order to make a perfect argument or make a good speech, I have to think of an idea or a speech in a limited time. So therefore, I think debate really helped me practice that skill, and which I'm using it in my normal life too. And secondly, I would say the skill that helped me a lot was to construct my idea. More of the I had written all the letters down in 1 pages, an essay, and I read that, which is quite inconvenient, I would say. Very inconvenient. But with debate, I kind of developed a new skill to kind of write down the important keywords. So if I'm writing about bears, like what kind of species they are, and so what kind of species, write the species in a single word, and what's their pounds and weight in a single word. So it was my role to actually connect them. So I think writing down in notes also affected the debate.
When you first came into the program, you were sweaty when you got up in front of people to talk, but now your confidence level, you can walk into a room and own it.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I've really seen you, it's an area that I've seen you develop and grow in, and I want to keep helping you develop in that area.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself developing the most?
I would say, as I said, thinking. That was the most developed aspect, I would say first. But that's the main aspect, really helped me a lot. But also speaking also helped me too. Because, well, for thinking, as I mentioned, I had to think of a subject or an idea in limited time, which helped me. But for speaking, it kind of helped me to be more confident in front of like presentations or like when I had to speak in front of people. When I began the debate course, I was nervous quite a lot. But now I kind of changed my thought to really relax and try to have confidence. So I think debate really helped me in both in speaking but also in thinking terms too.
I believe you're correct. Are you familiar with the term academic rigor?
Yeah, I quite heard of it. I quite heard the term of it. Yeah.
Right. How would you describe academic rigor?
I would express academic rigor as a term where it shows my development from the past and to compare myself to see how much I've improved from the past. I've improved, not the past. Yeah, I've improved.
All right. So let me know if I'm off here. Okay, in our debate program, let me know how closely related this description is to what we do in debate. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we introduce you to a difficult situation that you have to overcome. You have to engage with a thought that might be very complex. Am I on point so far?
Because the packages that you, Ms. Haywell, and Mr. Travis, like everyone writes, has different topics. I remember one with Mr. Travis with the hooligan one in sports, which I've heard of it but never got the interest. But I had to make this argument about the hooligans, which really required me to think of the content and look at the packages. And one about giving votes for poor people, because giving votes for poor people wasn't a really topic that I didn't think about. Well, if I did, it wasn't really deep enough. But I had to think deep enough, and it was required for me. So I had to go in a difficult situation or in a hero's journey. I had to be in a problem in order to solve and get the reward. So
okay.
It's, yeah.
Fantastic. So after we introduce that troublesome idea or that complex thought, right?
Yeah.
Do you receive coaching to help you figure things out, to help you kind of guide you through your thought process as you kind of approach your end state? Do you feel like you received that?
Yeah, I think I received that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What do you think the end state is? What do you think, where do you think our goal is at the end of this academic rigor process?
For this academic rigor progress, I would say the end course or the final course for me is to become a good debater. That's something I think that's my goal. And second, I would say something important I to achieve is really to be good and be successful in different aspects. Well, my academic goal when I started debate or when I'm in the course was to be smart at everything, to be a thinker, to be confident. And somehow these connect to debate, because in debate we need to know lots of content about sports, politics, or laws, like lawmaking process, or democracy, or different ideologies. So therefore, debate really connects to my academic goal. And secondly, I would say the idea that connects to my academic goal was to be a thinker. I would say I've developed a lot in different skills and different knowledges different knowledges that will be used in my normal life.
If there was one word that you could pick out, one word, what would you say that word would be at the end of the academic rigor process? I've got one in my head.
You do?
What do we want to see at the end of this process?
Development. Yeah.
Okay. Development would be great. Performance.
Yeah, performance.
Right? Development and performance. Personal
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see.
True.
So that's the reason that we go through this process. And you don't get better without overcoming obstacles.
True.
So we try to introduce that in the program.
True.
Would you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, fantastic. So some areas of opportunity that I see with Brian go hand in hand with the areas that he's already improving in. So still, there is some apprehension whenever he doesn't quite think a problem all the way through. There are certain times where his body language, his gesturing, his eye contact, his audience engagement can be a little bit off, where he could be able to improve that a little bit more, be able to engage an audience more, be able to gesture more effectively, use more voice intonation. So that's an area that I see him improving in, but that's an area that I also want to see him continue to improve in. Because I think once he masters that skill set, he'll be an excellent public speaker. And I'm very proud of him for his growth in that area, and I'm looking forward to continued personal growth with Brian.
Well, Mr. Alex helped me to improve myself because with his comments, for instance, when I make a speech, I use my hands. I should use my hands more, and it really helped me to use my hands during the debate. And secondly, he really helped me with not with the feedbacks, but also the contents, because the contents are really fruitful. You see, they're really helpful for me, and if I have time or if I need to do something related to let's say democracy, I go into the package and read the whole thing, which really helps me to get ideas or inspire what democracy is.
So academic rigor, when it comes to our debate courses, we introduce motions which are essentially a topic sentence for a debate. Generally, and more often than not, they deal with real world issues, and they require the students to really think critically about what these issues are, to think deeply about them, analyze them, and then be able to reconstruct that in order to convey a message that makes logical sense and shows reasoning. Also, it needs to be supported by strong evidence in order to make that point and link that to the motion. So we provide them with a complex issue. They have to overcome the problem, and we coach them through that. We help them learn to analyze the data that's in front of them and then create strong arguments. And then they perform. And that is the end, really the end state or the end goal of what academic rigor really is. We give them a problem, they overcome it, and they perform. And that's really how I would describe what academic rigor means in our debate program.
Well, I would say my mom helped me by putting me in the debate course. That's the biggest help I've got from her. Because I didn't want to be in the course at first. All in all, I would say I've developed a lot.
So with respect to parent engagement and the way that parents can help their students or their children succeed in this course is mainly to be able to challenge them on their ideas and remain unbiased. Be able to challenge them on their ideas. Let them speak their mind. Let them show you their reasoning and then challenge them on that. But allow them the latitude to be able to think critically about real problems and then question their reasoning. Make them prove things to you. Now, I also want to get into the subject of homework, because homework isn't meant to be just busy work, just something that you have to do to get it done, to check the box. Our homework is meaningful. That's why we assign what we assign is so that they can work on it at home, they can research the subject matter, they can reason through what they're going to be talking about, and then they'll be able to apply that in the next class. So we're building on a skill set every time we have a class. And that skill set is then put into action during the next class. And so we're continually building on skill set after skill set in order to get the students where we need them to be in order to succeed in a competitive debating environment.